Hello guys and welcome to the Game Beans. I'm Hotfix and today I'm going to be doing a pyro guide due to the changes or whatever. I did quite a lot of testing in PTS, so it's pretty much going to be the same DPS wise-ish from the PTS. So the spec I'll go for first and then some other things before the actual path, showing you how to do it. So I've gone for 10 Archon, 5 Harbinger, gone for 2 in Exhilaration. Definitely needed that on the PTS as your mana drained, but obviously they changed that a little bit in Spark, where you now have reduced mana on instant and numb in your fire spells, but it still does, after 4 minutes, you'll still have around about 20% mana. So I guess you could take that out and go for run speed if you want, or you could just go in Dominator, go for the mana increase and 10% intelligence. It's really up to you, but I personally going for Archon because you get increased damage done by 10 there. You also get increased damage done by 5% and you get the Pillaging Stone stats as well, so it's kind of a little bit better than Dom, but you obviously don't have to faff around if you go with Dom with Pillaging Stone. So before telling you how to do this spec and if it's good or not, I'm going to compare it between Harbinger and Warlock. At the moment, 61 Harbinger on the dummies I did around about 13.7, 14k, just a quick test with my gear, which is here. And with Warlock I managed to do around about 12.5, 13k, so that's around about what, nearly 1k, around about 1k less DPS than Harbinger is like 1k less than Harbinger, about just over 1k less DPS than Warlock. But bearing in mind that Warlock, I'm not using Nesbra's Grasp and I'm not using Death's Door, so they're probably one of the two great DPS increases. So there's a reason why Warlock is a little bit lower there and on dummy wise, but obviously they both have really good stuff. So with Pyromancer, I guess you could say it's pretty good. It's really good single target when you're standing still. So on the dummies you can do around about 14k, I guess, ish. I didn't really test that much, but just over 14k if you're doing it well. And it was kind of like that in the PTS anyway. So it's good. So but the only thing is, you might think, oh, that's miles over than Warlock, like what, over nearly. Oh, just it's loads. But if you think about it, a Warlock, I'm not using two abilities. Yeah, you say, oh yeah, you're not using Inferno, but Inferno's kind of crap anyway compared to Death's Door. So Warlock would probably be about on par Pyro at the end of a fight due to Death's Door and Nedra's Grasp, and bearing in mind that Warlock can still cleave mobs and it can DPS 2 mobs at the same time, and so that in that perspective, Warlock is a better spec. But if you don't want to do that and you don't like Warlock, then Pyromancer is probably the next best ranged DPS spell. So from the changes, it's quite really good stuff. So now let's go for the rotation and stuff. So as the fireball is going to occur every 3 seconds, double extras, you got to bear in mind that when you cast fireball, you do a double fireball. If you're using an instant cast and then you go back to fireball, then you'll go back. Then you get another double instant fireball. With bearing in mind, at the moment my fireball is 1.5 seconds long. In raids, obviously it'll have a lot lower. So I can use fireball, instant, and fireball, and then get the double proc again. If I've got extinguish on, I can use a fireball, 2 instants, is like, I don't know, flame bolt, countdown, and then fireball again, and then you get the 2 fireball proc again. So that's a reason why it's good to try and make it so that you get the most amount of double fireballs you can get. So as I'm starting off, I have Pillaging Stones. Obviously before a fight you're going to stack on Pillaging Stone behind a teammate or Trash Mash before, and obviously you're going to have full charge. If you don't have full charge at the time, you just use Firestorm to get it to max. So how I start is I start with Fireball. I don't really have the best rotation wise for starting off, because it's kind of just a bit of a mission mash of your buttons and hope for the best of procs and damage abilities output. But I start off with Fireball, Flame Bolt, I then use Fulminate straight away, Prime, and then Countdown. After that, then I go for Extinguish, and then I use fluent side when I've got extinguish up at in between a fireball, and then with in-slice charge on, and then after the extinguish, use in-slice charge with flame volley. Make sure I nearly got 100% charge, and then use heat wave and go with the heat wave macro. And as you go on there, as you go around the rotation, you'll find as you keep on going, as you find out that Fulminate and Fluent Slide will both come off cooldown pretty much at the same time. Extinguish procs a lot, and you just use Flame Volley when it comes off cooldown. You might be thinking, why am I not using Withering Flames? That's because it's a DPS loss from testing on the PTS, so I already know that. So these are obviously your buffs, your Pyromancer's a gear, glass power, and you can now move and not lose damage when you're moving, which is awesome. And let's give it a shot. I might not talk as much because it's quite hard, and I might not do as much DPS, but obviously because it's quite hard to talk and do this at the same time. So start off with Fireball, and then Flame Bolt, then I go for Fulminate, Prime, Countdown, and then 2 instant casts because I got Extinguish up, and then Fluent Slide. I don't know, it's kind of hard to talk and do running coverage at the same time. And oh shit, basically what I've done wrong here is I've just kept in-slice charge on when I was going for when I was using Fluent Slide, but obviously I can use this again and have full charge, and I'll go off with my Fulminate. And as you can see from the pass right now, that actually didn't make much of a DPS loss-ish. Obviously it would be better if I did do it right and didn't have the charge, and then it would be a much more burst damage. But you know, as I'm trying to talk and pass at the same time, it's quite hard. So as you can see, I'm trying to swap between fireballs and instant cast and stuff like that, so I do get the best amount of DPS I can, because I don't want to miss out of the fireball proc when I could easily get loads more stuff. So as we come up from here, so right now you can see that I'm on 14k DPS. If I was doing it properly and trying to do it right, I would be on, I could actually be higher than this, but you know, it's quite hard to talk and do this at the same time. Oh well, but you kind of get the gist of it. Try and get the most amount of fireball procs you can get, double procs you can get, while meantime using all your instants, trying to and all that kind of stuff. So I can't really talk and do this at the same time, but you kind of get the gist of it. You're gonna make sure that you get as many double fireballs as you can, using them in their fillers of like instants in between, making sure that you use Fulminate and Fluent Slide, but Fluent Slide with in-slice charge on, and then obviously Flame Volley with in-slice charge on. So DPS wise, this can be very high, especially in raids. It could be higher than Pyro, but then just Harbinger, but bearing in mind that Harbinger has loads of utilities as well. So in the long run, I still think Warlock is the better spec to go with range wise, and then Pyro. But if you don't want to play Warlock, I'd say go for Pyro. So I've been off your accept with Game Beans, and see you later.